Okay, so we have created a new user ID and signed in. So this is just a basic user. He has no special rights yet. And if we go down here and we go down to the download premium products, you'll see that it says sorry, but only users granted special access can read these topics in this forum. Now that's the difference between the admin user and a general user who hasn't been given special permissions yet. Now let's go in and give this user special permissions so he can get to that area. So first we'll log out, and then we will log in with the admin username and password. Okay, now see we can get in here now. Not that there's anything in there yet, but alright, so now we will go to the admin, and then you can go to the administration by clicking this link down here. There we go. Now let's go to user admin. Go to management. Click find a username. Pops up a little box like this, and then you can use wildcard characters. Okay, and this shows us that we have what users we have in there. I accidentally closed that. Let's bring that back again. Okay, and if we select, and now we look them up. Okay, and this is where we can set any of his information that we want to change in here. Generally, you're not going to need to do this because you already set in the forum admin, in the admin area, general admin, as to what options are going to be in here, and they themselves can change these. Now what we're interested in now is permissions. Alright, so now we want to set his permissions. So you can find a username by clicking that button over there, and it brings you this pop-up window if you don't know what it is. If you know what it is, you can just key it in directly. So we're going to find our username just by using a T and a wildcard, and it will bring us up the T. So this is the one we just set up here. So let's select him and look up the user. Now you'll see here that if we look in his account, the download premium products has disallowed access. Now if we were going to charge for premium products after he paid us, we would just have to go in here and allow him access and submit. And now he will be able to access that part of the forum. Now let's just go and prove that. Let's just go back to the forum itself. Let's log out. I'll log in with the username that we set up for that purpose. And there he is now able to view what's inside the forum. And that is how you set up private forums within your forum. Now let's go back into the admin area. Go to admin. You might want to bookmark your admin page so you don't have to keep going through that process to get to it. And it's just login.php, and then it redirects to admin. So you just bookmark it next time you go to it so you don't have to go through this process. Alright. Now, there's some other things you want to do, like for instance changing the Let's have a look here. We may want to change this image here. You probably will. And to do that, all we have to do is locate where the image is. So if you right click on it and do a properties, here's where it is. Oh. Copy image location. Now if we open Notepad and paste it in there, there is where the image is right now. So all we have to do is create a logo that we want to put there in GIF format and overlay this one. So let's go ahead and do that. Now here's how we're going to do that. I've created a picture, or I've found a picture on my computer that we're going to use for this. So what we'll do is just open it with Paint. So we'll do an open with Paint. And here it is here. Now it's too big now, as you can see. It's not going to fit. So what you do is you go to Image and you go to Resize Skew. Well, first of all, let's go and look at the properties, the attributes, and you'll see that this image is 1800 by 1200 pixels. So that's far too big. So let's make it 15% of that size. So all we do is go into Resize Skew and do 1515. And that's now the size of it. So we'll save that. Do a Save As. And then name it the same as what we have here, which is the last of this, logo underscore phpbb.gif. So name it that. Change this to GIF image. And then save. It's going to tell you that it might lose some of its attributes. That's okay. We'll save it. And we'll close this. Have a look at what it looks like now. Let's click on the image. Okay, and there's what it looks like now. Now all we have to do is upload that. So just find your FTP editor that you like to use, and then go and get to your site. And then find where your bulletin board's at, which is in PHPBB. If we go back here, you'll see that we're in PHPBB templates, sub-silver images. So we go to templates, sub-silver images, and then we just upload our file to there. Here it is on the right, so we just overwrite that. Then we go back and preview our form. There is our image now showing up. And it's as simple as that to put your own image here. And it's still a clickable image that takes you to the home page of the form. Now the next thing we're going to go over is groups. Creating a user group is an easy way to have groups of users put together that can have permissions to the forums. So for instance, let's go first and create a new forum. And we'll create it under our downloads and we'll call it Silver Level. Downloads. And we'll make this a locked forum under downloads again. And we'll create that. And then we will go to permissions. And we'll just set that to private and hidden. Okay, now to see what that did, let's just go back to the main forum. Okay, you can see it now because we're signed in. But let's sign out. And you'll see that the silver level is not visible. So let's just sign back in again. Didn't follow my own advice about the admin thing here. Okay, so we now have a hidden group, or a hidden forum. Now let's go into groups. And we can have the group name Silver Members. And then you could put a description here again if you want. Group moderator. You could actually assign somebody else to be a moderator of this group as you want, whether it's an open group, closed group, or hidden group. In their case, we're going to make it a closed group. And we'll submit that. No. Right. So find a username. Okay, we could have just keyed that in as well. Okay, let's submit that now. Alright, so now we can go down and go to our permissions. These are group permissions. Now we can give access at the group level to our areas on our farm. So let's make this that anybody in the silver group is allowed silver level download access, and we'll submit that. And now anybody that's a member of the silver group will be able to look in there. Now let's go back and log out again just to see how this works. Okay, now as you see, that isn't even showing here. Now we'll log in with a regular user account. Again, you can't see it because we are not a member. If we click on groups, okay, there's silver members. It says this is a closed group, no more users accepted. Okay, so in other words, if you set it as a closed group, nobody else can get into it. You can also set it as a hidden group, which will hide it from view, and you set it as an open group, which anybody can join. So we'll go and create an open group now. Now these groups will not be good if you want to charge for them, since anybody can actually join these groups and get into the content. You could probably do this with a small programming modification, but in our case, we wouldn't want to use it for that. You can just use the method that I showed you earlier. So now let's log out and go back to the admin area. And log in. And then let's just go back to our groups and manage this and just set this to an open group. And now we will just log out again. Now we'll go back to the home page. We'll log out. We'll log in as a regular user. Okay, so again, we can't see this yet. However, if we go to user groups now and we view the information, you can just click join the group. Okay. So now we see that their membership is pending. So let's go back in as a moderator now. Okay, now that we're in, we'll go down to group permissions. And we'll see here that pending members Tim J. Carter. Now you don't actually have to come in here. The moderator of the group, which may be you or someone else, can just go to their on the main page, and they can just go into user groups and view information. This is also, you can change the type of group in here. And you see down here pending members, and then you can just approve. So just approve selected. And now you'll see that the in group members is Tim J. Carter. And that's how you get somebody into a group. So let's log out now and log back in with the general username. And you'll see that he now has access to the silver level downloads because he's a member of that group. That is how you can control the level of access to your users. If he goes into user groups now, he can see that he's a member of this user group and he can unsubscribe himself here. Alright, we'll just go over the last couple of options here. And a couple more options we'll just go over quickly. Back up your database just allows you to back the database up onto your own computer so that if you have to restore it, you can easily do that. Mass email just means that you can send an email to all the users in your group. If you backed up your database, you can restore it here. Smileys, this just shows you the symbols that they use. And you can actually edit or control whether they can use smileys. You can also import them here. Word censors, if you want to put some bad words in here that people aren't allowed to use, you put them in here, they won't allow them. Styles admin, this is just where you can change a style sheet. You can create a style. Won't go into that, that's kind of an advanced option. Ban control, this just allows you to ban by username or IP address, host names, email addresses. So if you want to ban somebody from entering your forum, you can do that here. Disallow names. If you want certain usernames not to be allowed in here, you can put them here. You can use wildcards in those as well. And then ranks. You can give special rankings to people. Right now all that's in here is a system moderator, but you can add a ranking called, you can have a ranking system. Like superstar. And then the minimum number of posts to get that, 150. And then you can give a certain image if you want, a path to an image if you want them to have a certain image beside their rank. You could upload an image to the root directly where your PHPBB is and just put the image name here. So you can just set up a hierarchy here of special permissions that that they have depending on their number of posts. And that's it. That's how you use PHP-BB. You can use it as a content management forum, or you can just use it as a membership forum, or a combination thereof.